Hi there, students. To breach, a breach. Well, the first meaning of this word is a gap, a break in a barrier, in a defensive wall, particularly when made by an attacking army. So, if you were sieging a city, the first thing to try and do is make a breach in the walls, a break in the walls, and then you send your troops running through, and that's a breach. But we also use a breach or to breach, meaning to break the law, to breach the law. Or you could breach an agreement, not comply with it. You could have breach of contract, when you fail to perform some act or obligation that you promised in a contract. Yeah? Okay? It's an infringement. It's an infringement of the contract. You could breach a code of etiquette. Yeah? You could breach the social norms. So it's not to do what you're not supposed to do, or not to do what you are supposed to do. Yeah? Okay, so if you have a contract, you sign the contract and you promise to pay a certain amount on each date. If you're late with the payment, then that is a breach of contract. You've broken the contract. Yeah, you have infringed the norms of the contract, the stipulations, if you like. Okay, a breach could also be a crack, a break, or a rupture. So there was a breach in our friendship when we argued about a girl. Yeah? Okay, so it's a breakup of friendly relations. Yeah? Okay, a breach, a break. It's like the gap in the wall. So notice with this gap in the wall, somebody could step into the breach. So if you've got a break in a defensive line and somebody stands in the breach, then they act as the barrier. But maybe one of your colleagues is sick and you have to go to work in this place, then you step into the breach. You take over his responsibilities. Yeah? You take over his obligations. So you cover, if you like. Notice you could have a breach of the peace. This means a fight. Yeah? Civil disorder. The police could arrest you for a breach of the peace. You could have a breach in security, a break in security. There's been a breach in security at Facebook, for example. Okay? So a breach is a break. So notice it's either a verb, a break, or it's a verb, to break, or a noun, a break. Yeah? A breach of the law, a breach of a contract, a breach of a code, a security breach. Notice there is actually another meaning of this word breach. You know a whale, a great big mammal that lives in the sea. Well, when it breaks the surface of the water, yeah, like a dolphin as well, it breaches. It's to breach. When a dolphin or a whale breaks the surface of the water, normally they do this because they want to breathe. Yeah, it's time for them to breathe in some air. Okay? So, a breach, a gap or a break in a defensive wall, a defensive barrier. A breach, a break, the breaking of a contract, an agreement, a code, or something like that. Okay? And then also just your whale breaking the surface. So let's see, to breach is a regular verb. Breach, breached, breached. And now you want to know about formality. Well, I would say to breach is a more formal word, maybe 6.5 out of 10. Yeah, I'm not sure this word to breach is very good for an informal conversation. I would use the word to break or a break in an informal conversation. But for a formal document, for a financial document, a legal document if you're writing, breach is the word that you definitely need. Yeah, so a more formal word. What about the origin of this? Well, I think it comes from French, the French word, old French word brèche, which is a break in a wall, and it's related effectively to the word to break. Okay? You could breach confidence if somebody trusts you and you tell their secrets to a third party. That's a breach of confidence. Okay? So not doing what you're supposed to do, what you're contracted to do, what you really ought to do. So, enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. A breach to breach.